First, the headlines. National Press Day observed various welfare schemes being taken up for media person in recognition of their service, said Director T.H. Charanjit. After Dark Diwali, Lane to Manipur echoed with a voluntary boycott of Ningol Chakoba and mass sit-in protest demand peace and normalcy as Ningol Chakoba gift from the state government. ITLF announces to go with separate administration whether the authority recognizes or not. Amidst the ongoing crisis, Raeburn College of Churachandpur granted autonomous under UGC. And curfew relaxed in Imphal East and Imphal West, Thoubal and Bishnupur districts till 10 p.m. For Kukching district, curfew relaxed till 8 p.m. today. Good afternoon, you are watching ELITETV English News and this is Heeyai Leima giving you the news in details. National Press Day has been observed today at the Auditorium Hall of Department of Information and Public Relations. The observation program, which has been organized by DIPR, was attended by officials of DIPR along with chief of various print and electronic media houses of the state. As a part of the observation, a workshop on the theme Media in the Era of Artificial Intelligence was also organized. A video showing the contributions of the various print and electronic media personnel was also showcased during the function.
Malini tungan-tungan ba lewang sigi chokat pungthanga praise amagi media na achoka thudam loduna lakli.
Speaking on the occasion, DIPR Director Dr. T.H. Charanjit expressed that the National Press Day is observed throughout the nation in commemoration of the day of 1966, in which the Press Council of India was first established. He also added that at the national level, Press Day is being observed at Vigyan Bhawan, New Delhi, with Vice President of India as a chief guest. He also added that in recognition of the services being rendered by various media persons, several welfare schemes are being undertaken by the government, and also added that pension system is also being introduced for the journalists in the state.
DIPR nasu koi kenotok jalaga Manipur journalists singi hai batare Manipur journalists singi koi honorable chief minister ki using makada koi honorable minister ki guidance makada commissioner ki direction matugina koi adum alamba koi honajari Manipur state journalist welfare scheme koi thapjari maduda koi supawada to journalists could enjoy the family to the sum of the 29 lakhs of the sanction to Jagger at the Matakta, where Manipur journalist pension scheme implement total lady, the 21 pensioner, family pensioner, the pension misery, and the committee. Manga also put out the pension teacher, 26 journalists also one family, the way Mantok Shagari.
In one of its first kind in the history of Manipur, the day when the entire Indian nation was shining bright with lights, marking the symbol of victory of good over evil, on November 13, Manipur was under total darkness, marking the observance of Dark Diwali, a sign of showing solidarity to the departed souls of the ongoing crisis. Bringing forth another dark day upon the people of Manipur, the second day of lunar North Heeyai, which is November 15, shall be etched in the history of the Manipur, which shall be remembered by the future generations. This day is one of the biggest days for all Ningol's daughters of Manipur, where the festival of Ningol Chakauba is celebrated. However, yesterday, instead of celebrating the biggest festival, Ningols throughout the state observed no celebration as a mark of protest of what has been happening in the state of Manipur for the past 6 months, with neither the central government nor the state government taking up any definitive actions to bring an end to the ongoing crisis. On this day, instead of celebrating the festival with happiness and merriment, the eyes of the Ningols of Manipur have been filled with tears. Several Ningols took to the street and staged sudden protests at several places across the valley, demanding immediate intervention of the state and central authorities to bring an end in the crisis and to restore peace and normalcy in the state. Here is a report from our ELITETV reporter.
Hꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯩꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯋꯥꯡꯒꯣꯏ ꯕꯖꯥꯔꯗꯅꯤ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯤꯌꯥꯡꯒꯩꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯅꯤ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯕꯨꯡ ꯃꯧꯄ꯭ꯋꯥ ꯑꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯆꯠꯁꯤꯜꯍꯜꯂꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯧꯔꯥꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯝꯗꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯤꯕꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯝꯗꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯈꯧꯔꯥꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯖꯔꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯕꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯎꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯧꯔꯥꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯇꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯊꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯔꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯤꯡꯂꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯈꯪꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯁꯤ
ꯃꯩꯇꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯏꯕꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛ ꯆꯠꯀꯅꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯄꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯛꯇ ꯆꯠꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯐꯤ ꯐꯖꯕ ꯁꯦꯠꯂꯒ ꯆꯠꯄꯩ ꯃꯍꯨꯠꯇ ꯂꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯐꯝꯃꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯐꯤꯃꯨ ꯁꯦꯠꯂꯒ ꯊꯣꯛꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯄꯨ ꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯣꯏꯅꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯃꯣꯏ ꯀꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯦ ꯈꯪꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯦ ꯋꯥꯍꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯁꯣꯛꯑꯕꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯈꯪꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯈꯪꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯄꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯧ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯁꯨꯛ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯐꯥꯈꯤꯕ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔ ꯑꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯤꯈꯨꯟ ꯈꯪꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀꯁꯨ ꯅꯧꯅ ꯐꯥꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯑꯅꯤꯗꯨꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯈꯪꯗꯅ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯃꯔꯥꯡ ꯈꯪꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯈꯪꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯨꯠꯇ ꯊꯨꯅ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯔꯛꯅꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯈꯪꯉꯒ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯄꯤꯔꯛꯎ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯈꯤꯕ ꯏꯕꯨꯡ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯈꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯠꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯗꯅ ꯔꯤꯂꯤꯐ ꯀꯦꯝꯞꯇ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯈꯜꯂ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯆꯠꯇꯕꯅꯦ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯊꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯅꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕꯁꯦ ꯊꯣꯛꯇꯅꯕ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯁꯥꯟꯇꯤ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯆꯠꯇꯕꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯆꯠꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯁꯤꯁꯨꯅꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯔꯤꯂꯤꯐ ꯀꯦꯝꯞꯇ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯀꯧꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏ ꯀꯧꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯅꯕ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯌꯣ
ꯃꯦꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯡ 3ꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯂꯥꯜꯍꯧꯕꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯩꯇꯩꯗ ꯂꯥꯟꯗꯥꯔꯛꯄꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯀꯥꯏꯅꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯄꯨꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯀꯥꯏꯅꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯪꯖꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯃꯩ ꯊꯥꯈꯤꯗꯅ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯄꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯔꯤꯂꯤꯐ ꯀꯦꯝꯞꯇ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯋꯥ ꯑꯅꯥ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯒ ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯀꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯅꯤꯅꯤ ꯄꯥꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯨꯠ ꯊꯦꯛꯑꯒ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯛꯄ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯨꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕꯁꯤꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯋꯥ ꯑꯅꯥ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯂꯥꯟ ꯉꯥꯛꯄ ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯨꯝꯅꯥꯏꯗꯣꯡ ꯐꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯩꯁꯥꯡꯈꯣꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯕꯦꯜ ꯏꯆꯤꯜ ꯏꯅꯥꯎ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯗ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯕꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯉꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯖꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ
ꯊꯥ 3 ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯛꯂꯕ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯝꯗꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯐꯥꯎ ꯌꯧꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯧꯔꯥꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯀꯦꯅ ꯃꯧꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯆꯠꯄꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯨꯠꯇ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯐꯤꯕꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯈꯪꯕ ꯉꯝꯂꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯧꯔꯥꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯅꯤꯡꯉꯣꯜ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯍꯤꯌꯥꯡꯒꯩꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯅꯤ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯆꯠꯇꯕꯤꯗ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯅ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯇꯔꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯄ꯭ꯔꯥ
Women folk of Lamsang Makalaikai and Lamsang Mayai Laikai yesterday observed fasting and stake a sit-in protest instead of celebration of Ningol Chakoba festival, which is the biggest festival for the Ningol's daughters of Manipur. Women folk expressed that the state government must now wake from its deep sleep and listen to the call of the public to bring an end to the ongoing crisis, which has been prolonging for more than 6 months. In showing solidarity and respecting the lost souls who laid down their life fighting against the illegal Chinkuki narco-terrorists, the Ningol's daughters of Manipur yesterday, instead of celebrating the biggest festival of Ningol Chakoba, observed fasting, and one woman participant expressed that till that, when the crisis has been continuing for long, the leaders are taking no concrete action for restoring peace and normalcy in the state, and asks as to how long the people of the state are going to bear the brunt of this crisis. One women protesters of the Kurkul Lamkai also expressed that on this day of the November 15, instead of celebrating the Ningol Chakoba festival, they are also sharing the pain and sorrow of the victims of the ongoing crisis, and expressed that they stand in solidarity with all those lost souls who died fighting for the territorial integrity of the state against the divisive Kuki militant forces. Mayapabis of Luke yesterday expressed that they no longer want to be a part of the Indian Union, where they are living like slaves with no one to look after them and protect them from illegal forces in the state. One participant, Konthausam Purnima, expressed that the second day of the lunar month of the Heeyai is the most eagerly waited days in the life of the Ningols of the state. However, due to the ongoing crisis which began on May 3 with the Chinkuki narco-terrorists attacking the Meitei people, this festival is not being celebrated, with the people of Manipur reeling under hardships and miseries, with several innocent lives being lost in the crisis. She further expressed that the present government is powerless, not capable of solving the problems and addressing the issues. As a part of mass observance of fasting and staking sit-in protest instead of celebrating much awaited festival of Ningol Chakoba, women Merapaibis of Haurau Kairen also stake a sit-in protest at Hauran Kairen Community Hall yesterday and also observed fasting. One woman participant in Thousam Toibi expressed that due to present crisis which began on May 3, many people have been compelled to take shelter in relief camps, and when many people are facing the brunt of crisis, they cannot remain happy celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba, and in showing their solidarity, they are observing fasting and staking sit-in protest, demanding the state and central authority to take up stringent actions to bring back and peace and normalcy in the state. Women folk of Pasoi Part 4 also participated in the mass sit-in protest yesterday instead of celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba and expressing solidarity with the affected victims of the ongoing crisis. Patsoi Patri women folk also, instead of celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba, observed fasting and stake a sit-in protest, showing their solidarity with the victims of the ongoing crisis and as a mark of respect to the departed soul who lost their life fighting against the Chinkuki narco-terrorists in the state. Members of Sanjain-bam Apunba Merapaibi also stake a sit-in protest and observe 1 day's fasting instead of celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba yesterday. Women participants raised a question on what are the leaders of the state doing for such a long time, and expressed that the chief minister must wake up from his sleep and listen to the hues and cries of the people who have been facing several untold hardships and miseries due to the current crisis in the state. Maibam Surubala of Lamsang Bazar Apun Manupi Kunai during sit-in protest take yesterday at Lamsang Bazar expressed that since May 3, several innocent people are facing the brunt of the crisis and many have been rendered homeless, with the state and central authorities still unable to trace the whereabouts and serve justice to the 4 young students who went missing during the crisis. She further expressed that when the people of Manipur are saddened by the news of Linthoy Ngambi and Hemanjit, the missing of Abhinas and Anthony have once raised the question as to whether there is any hidden agenda of the state government in not trying to bring an end to the ongoing crisis. Mairapaibis of Tau Thong also participated in the mass sit-in protest yesterday, standing in solidarity with the affected victims and the lost souls of the ongoing crisis. Speaking during the sit-in protest, Nongthombam Tampa Leima, Secretary of Linthoy Ngambi Women Welfare Tau Thong Mairapaibi, expressed that when Manipur has been reeling under turmoil and unrest for the past 6 months, with many innocent lives being lost in the hands of illegal Kuki militants, the state government has been keeping mum, taking no definite actions against the Kuki militants, and women folk have been compelled to come out on the streets to protect and safeguard the territorial integrity of the state. She further expressed that the act of remaining silent by the state authority when people are facing several hardships and miseries is very unfortunate. Since May 3, many Meitei people have been compelled to take shelter in relief camps, with their houses being burned down by Kuki militants and with many innocent lives lost during the crisis. Fighting against the Kuki militants, members of Kongpal Social Development Organization KSDO and Kongpal Khaidem Lekai Nupilup yesterday staged a sit-in protest at Kongpal Khaidem Lekai market set, demanding to restore peace and normalcy in the state, to root out the Kuki militants from the soil of Manipur and to rehabilitate the victims of the crisis in their native places. A women participant expressed that they want the state government to bring peace and normalcy in the state as Ningol Chakoba gave.
Mapa siba mama siba masa siba mayangi mikap mira khonda na pik thalaba numit lasi ke loina na Manipur dan mayam te ki hena ningon sa ko ba numit no ai ba numit lasi da mabung mapa mama mapa singa pon na sa min na bi no ai bagi ningon sa ko ba ido khongkhong na biramaga mapi mapa oi be sing ki thamoi da kari phawbi bage kari nungai ba phawbage mongoi da thoning da ba mapi mapa oi ba sing da thoning da ba thoktok to bazam yam da thon bigan ho haina Manipur da apun ba sakti porak to na nungai ai pa patang du leita ba bibiu na haijeri.
Similarly, Mairapaibis of Naharup Thongjau also demanded the state government to bring back peace and restore normalcy in the state as Ningol Chakoba gave, further demanding to root out the Chin Kuki narco-terrorists from the soil of Manipur. One woman participant, Thokchom Ongbi Nalini, while taking part in sit-in protest yesterday at Naharup Thongjau Makhong Market said, expressed that the Ningols of the area, instead of celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba, are observing fasting as a mark of standing in solidarity with the victims of the ongoing crisis, many of whom have been rendered homeless and many having lost their near and dear ones due to the ongoing crisis. She further expressed that the state authority has been unable to bring justice Linthoy Ngambi Hemanjit, and during such a time, the incident of missing of 2 teens, Abhinas and Anthony, is yet another unfortunate incident targeted against the Meitei people. She continued that it is very disappointing that the state government is unable to drive out the illegal Kuki militants from the state when the violence has been continuing for more than 6 months. Mairapabis of Langol Ningthong Lekai also participated in the mass sit-in protest yesterday, expressing the plight of the numerous people who have been affected by the current crisis that began on May 3. Speaking on the occasion, Yumlembam Sunita, Secretary of Women Development and Cultural Foundation, expressed that the Ningols of Manipur have sacrificed their celebration of much-awaited festival of Ningol Chakoba, adding that they cannot remain happy when many peoples of the Meitei community are reeling under pain and sorrow for the past 6 months, having been affected by the crisis resulting from rampant and insane attacks by the Chin Kuki narco-terrorists targeting Meitei people. Meanwhile, several women Merapabis of Kaisam Thong, Payeng, Langolapun Balup, Naurim Thong Lamding, Tabungkok, Iroisemba, Sekmaijin, Kurai, Chingangbam Laikai, Hairok Part 1, Haitup Popi, Hairok Part 2, Kaithel Maning, Wangjing Lamding Kaithel also participated in yesterday's mass sit-in protest, demanding the state authority to bring back peace and restore normalcy in the state. While condemning the act of remaining silent of the state and central government when the state of Manipur has been reeling under turmoil and unrest for the past 6 months.
high school relief camp the Lazabane. Adonga sit Hawaii Mirror Puna Shmina Kosam Nazaraga, Kotang Sara and Big Konging the Sanctions of Bania, Queen of Karimarangi, Kotang Sara and Big Konging the Sanctions of Ibn have Nasi Young in Pan, but you will be passing the Sako, Ningo sing the Hara around Ningo Sako, but Sasado, Matamasa, Ibungi passing the Imalebaki, it is something that Hawaii Potapi, a Queen of Karam the Hara around Sako was certainly Hibogi Pandam, the Queen of Kotang Sara and Big Konging the Sanctions of Bania. I don't know, Langana, Kuibato, Matam, the Akoi Yum to the Tangduletanam, Tangleba, Babung Birena, Mutang is in Bio and Hazari. Amatana quite the two or Hibus lady. I quit Yum like Raba. Ibung Iba, but Tongan Kangraba. It is now Lloyd of Land in Araga. Canara, no, I quit when want to go big at all. Ipasu, Imazu, you will pass your land in Araga. I don't know when anyone wants to go with that. I do give my title. Irabak, Iram, get about that. Hawaii upon her big. Sing, Nagoina Kamina, I came out to Raga. I could come in and talk to Inova. I say it about the Aquina. Sagagi make it a hiding with you. Guys, hiding it. At home, Madame. You never sing Maru Puna, Puto Figuraga. Sandy Purna, one of you, I was Aduga. At home of them, I quite it. When a side of heavy came to the quite listening there, I quite you like a hingo lazy. At home of them, what is Hanaviraga, young number Singu, Maru Puna, Puto Figuraga. I quite was Helen be over. I quite you the laser again by what. Yangi Nini Panba, Ningon Chakoba, Chahi Kudingi Pantutuna Lapa, Nasi Akoigi, the Kai Sikioina, Pantuk Tadana, Nasi Sarah and Bagi Konjang, the Sansala, Sikipan, the Dikaino Haganda, Akoigi, Laibaki the Magda, have the Akoi Maite, Manipur, Laibak Siki the Magda, Akoigi Hawaii upon Tapi, Krabamadi, Yumay Saktana, relief came the Laiba, Avatar, which in Nausingi, the Magdaying, Lakanda, Siningon, or be a Quina, Yamna Haranuaina, Satkadava, Akoigi Chakoba, Tokoga, Nasi Akoigi, Laibaki Iran, Chinamaram or Aganda, Akoigi Tandu Laita, the Baza, Sisikina Magda.
And now let's take a short commercial break. Do stay tuned for more updates.
Admission open. Temple of Learning Mayangbam Apabi Nursing College, Tolmak, Manipur University, Kanchipur, Manaktalaiba College Asida, Chalibachahi, English Gani Kulumdoi, English Gani Kunmaridagi, Basic Nursing Course Tamnaba, Admission Form Thajare. State Government na Ayaba Piraba, Manipur Nursing Council na Approved Toraba, Manipur University, the affiliate Toraba College ni, Clinical Exposure gi parent Amadi affiliated hospital Singdi, District Hospital, Thobal, Sky Hospital and Research Center, Rims Road, Maipakpi Maternity Hospital, not AOC, Raz Medicity, not AOC, Mother's Care Children Hospital and Research Center, Sagolban, District Hospital, Visnupur, Cyber Hospital, Kurai, Center for Mental Hygiene, Changangai, Mental Hospital, Tezpur, Asina Singbani, Educational Bank Loan Amadi, Scholarship Ki Kudong Sabalagani, Medical Directorate na Loba Common Entrance Test eligible Oiraba Satri Singna admission Tambayaragani.
Welcome you all to UNAPO School Chanum, Imphal East, a fully residential school ranked Manipur #1 in All India School Ranking Awards 2023-24 by Education World in Co-Education Boarding School category. Academic session for 2024-25 will begin on 1st April 2024. Registrations are open for classes 4 to 9. Hurry up for registration.
Press Presto Personalized Wonders Imphal Nauna Hangdokchari Haidibasida Personalized Gifts, Corporate Gifts, Awards and Mementos, Home Decor, Office Rubber Stamp Nachingba Potlam Sing Mafam Asida Pambigani Ngasi Maglangsing Birau Tila Grass Enterprises Presto Tangal Bazar near Kasturi Tong Imphal. Contact number 0385-244-9025 Natraga 98621-00456.
Welcome back and let's see further details. Members and Merapaibi of Nambol Chengmang Khori Lekaya Punba Merapaibi Loop also participated in yesterday's mass sit-in protest at Nambol Chengmang and also abstain from celebrating the biggest festival of Manipur for Ningol's daughter, Ningol Chakoba. Members also observed a one-day's fasting in expressing their solidarity with the affected victims of the ongoing crisis and demanding the state authority to restore peace and normalcy in the state. Speaking on the occasion, HRB expressed that the state authority must acknowledge the degree of pain and suffering which the people of Manipur are facing, and as a sign of protest, they have abstained from celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba. The state authority must act accordingly, keeping in mind the wishes and aspiration of the people, she added.
Ubiraga asuk yamna thamoi songna mama masa unagadaba mabung okpa unagadaba mayam se unajadadana akhoi tokcherage haidana kumai sibu nungairaba kumai sibu tokhraba sigum se lengangna khangbiraga akhoi gi athubada asigum irang asigum laiba ki awaba tarba irang se masi athubo tamda loisinbiu haiba lengaki adugum pungning se singsinjari.
Torbung Gram Panchayat Merapaibi, Torbung Gram Panchayat Protection Committee, Thawai Miril Village Volunteer Force, Torbung Gram Panchayat jointly organized a sit-in protest yesterday at Fogakchau Awang Ibudo Thangjing Lampak instead of celebrating the festival of Ningol Chakoba, expressing their solidarity with the victims of the current crisis and showed respect to all the departed souls who lost their lives during the crisis. During the sit-in protest, protesters demanded restoration of peace and normalcy in the state and to trace the whereabouts of all the missing persons. Protesters also observed a one-day's fasting expression their grievances over the non-reactive acts of the Chief Minister in Biren and BJP Manipur Pradesh President A. Sarda Devi. With regards to the government directive for submitting and photographs and videos of their burned houses, one protesters raised the question as to how they are going to take photographs and videos of their burned houses when they are unable to enter the sensitive red zone areas, and further question if they are unable to submit the same, is the state government not going to provide any compensation to the victims? Meanwhile, member of Village Volunteer Force Torbung GP Thangjam Abung expressed that the state authority must take up steps for enabling the villagers of Torbung Gram Panchayat to re-enter their houses within November 20, which have not been burned down by the Kuki militants. He added that if appropriate steps are not taken up, the villagers are set to take up various agitations against the state government.
BJP ki oina double engine ki oina kwai maru ba sarda se ma nupi na tabra heba nupi ama orga ma nupi ama ki thamoi chen do se marung kari gi no habne ma hangning ba torlong jo peda tang hum da ki tholok paduna nga se ba da lele kem da hand laiba sina yom da hand da laiba mat ko ma ki chako ba la kwata ma kari gi asegum ba thabak ma pu ngam da ba marung kari gi no ba biren ma jo Manipur siki mantri ama oina man thagale mayam siki awa pai kani akhoi ti adu du tawre gor bele chale du tawre yana re bangesh na palinge matam da adu taw da taw man pala matam di akhoi di nambo por chele na asidi ma yenga mi braba yum cha ki ba mayam si photo na ma thagalo o ye hujik se thagat ka dawji khoi isa bok changba ya de ba
यादव मफम से कमाई कोई फोटो नमदेनोबा अदुदि फोटो नमदा तादि कोई युम चाखिबे काई फंगदे ताबरबा से आई हंगजेनिंगेबा
अखोई लिसु यामना लेबन जाबन खंगद्रब जीपी सिदा तुबुंग जीपी सिदा हिंगीबा हाइबदुबा गाइरेबा अखोइना लेरिसे कनागुम मतेंग फंगमसु लेते हाइरोगा गवर्नमेंट अखोइदि हंजलो यानरे हंजलगा कुकी म्यामना हातोरिबा सेकेंड खुदिंगी कुकी कुमदर इनुंगनांगदा नोय कापसले अखोइ मितैना काबा यादे
मसी मतम कुइना सांगा चही अमगी मनुंगदा तांगना थोकपा थौदोक निंगोन सिंगी ओइबा सुक तांग्रबा थौदोक मिसिदा निंगोन सिंगसिना सादा थक्तबा मखै ngasi धरना मफमसिदा फमजरिबसे मणिपुर सरकार ना भारत सरकार ना सिगुम्बा खुदिंग मसे खंगागा शांति लेरे हाइगा खोगी तोरबुंग मनिंग साबंदा बांग्लादा नौना सारैबा के मयाम से तकथो असिमुतंग तकथो पियो अथुबा मतमदा खोइबु युम युमदा इसा इसागी इरमदमदा चंगबा यानानबा सिंबिउ हाइना मणिपुर सरकार गी पुनिंग सिंसिनजरी
निनी पानम नुमित असिदा कोई तोरबुंग जीपी अमदे कोई इमा इवेंट सिंगी कोई हंदक के कोई मणिपुर दा लेजर निंगोल सिंगी ओइनदी कोई अतुक मते कोई ऐतिहासिक ओइरबा कोई नुमित असिदा कोई चरा हेनवी खुंग कोई चंगसले कोई तसेंगना मसिदा कोई विलेज वॉलंटियर फोर्स तोरबुंग जीपी की माइकई दी कोई गवर्नमेंट की मफम दा कोई कईगुम मफम खरदंग थमजगे कोई ngasi फावबदा कोई तोरबुंग जीपी हारिबा जगह सिगी कोई युम चाहौदबा जगह सिंगदai कोई युम चाक तम मफम सिंदा कोई मी प्रजा सिंग कोई की खुंजा सिंग कोई चंगे हाइबदा ngasi बुक्तदी कोई चंगहंदरी अदुना हाई सरकार से अखोइदा ngasiबुक्ता थबक अमता पाखत पिदबन मरम ओरगा अखोइ लाइबा तांग कुन फावबसिदा गवर्नमेंट कईगुम्बा मसिगी मरी लेना एक्शन अमता थबक अमतंग पाखत बिरक्तबा तारगदी अखोइ विलेज वॉलंटियर फोर्स अमदि मणिपुर प्रजा मियामगा अखोइ इरोइना अखोइ मसि अखोइ चंगसलगने हाइदना गवर्नमेंट की मफमदा अखोइ वाफम से थमजरे
Several women members of Heeyai Phalekai Chaukat Khongthanglup yesterday participated in expressing solidarity and in sharing the pain and sorrow of the numerous victims who have been affected by the ongoing crisis that sparked off on May 3, compelling many thousands to take shelters in relief camps running for their life like refugees in their own land. One woman participant, Sanabam Ongbi Sima, expressed that how is the Chief Minister in Biren commenting that peace has returned in the state when rampant attacks including bomb attacks are continuing in the foothill areas by the Kuki militants targeting the Meitei villages. She further expressed that when there are no incidents of violence in the Imphal Valley, violence still continues to occur in the far-flung areas and foothill areas, and in such a situation, how can the Chief Minister make remarks that peace has returned? Such an act shows the irresponsibility of being a leader, she added. She further demanded to trace the whereabouts of the two missing students, Abhinas and Anthony, at the alias. Meanwhile, Sadongbung Apunba Nupilup, Wangkai Kongbo also participated in the mass sit-in protest yesterday and abstained from celebrating the Ningol Chakobo festival, standing in solidarity with the affected victims on the ongoing conflict. JDU Manipur State Unit Vice President and social activist Sanjoy Ahanthem has expressed that instead of deploying Central Security Forces at Sagang, it would be in the best interest of the affected victims to deploy state security forces in Napat and Tangjeng villages, which neighbors Kuki villages, and further expressed that this would facilitate the victims to re-enter their villages for resettlement. He further expressed that the current crisis is nearing 7 months completion, which has resulted from rampant and incessant attacks by Kuki militants who are under suspension of operation, joined by the illegal Chin Kuki narco-terrorists targeting and killing innocent Meitei people, besides torching and burning down of thousands of Meitei houses. To add to the degree of atrocities committed by the Kuki militants and illegal Chin Kuki narco-terrorists, kidnappings of civilians and minor students have also occurred during this 7-month-long turmoil. However, till date, the Prime Minister has been remaining silent, and such act of his is uncalled for and it's condemnable in the strongest term. He further stressed that the youths of the state who are competing well in the race for development and prosperity have been rendered suffering from psychological and mental trauma, which may become a cause for their diversion from the mainstream. He further added that in a place like Manipur, which is just the size of one district of the state of Uttar Pradesh or Bihar, where population is also less compared to other states, the occurrence of such heinous crimes and crises can be well controlled by the central government within a matter of few hours if the central government takes the issue of Manipur seriously. However, this has not been the case. Instead of solving the crisis, it has only been kept prolonging, and this raises a big question whether the government of India is planning to annihilate the entire Meitei community. He further expressed that the stay for deploying central security forces at PY College of Sagang must be stopped, while noting that the said area has been remaining in peace with peaceful existence between the Meiteis and Meitei Pangals of the Borayangbi Muslim villages. He thus stressed that the state authority must instead deploy state security forces in the Napat and Tangjeng areas where recent attacks by Kuki militants against the Meitei community are being reported.
Kumbi Kendra the Kirang is the fighting in a soap from Singing Manuda, Kumbi Kendra the Gisu, how Kiboy but Orlung the how Kibo Oivani. I don't know, I got you Kumbi Kendra in my events in said Tataruchi, Charum, Tumlum, Kangatre, Massasing Bungang and Abuhona Buddha, Sefai Chang Tanabungang and Abuhona Buddha, Amasung Kunga volunteer sing she as well am talked and Abuhona Buddha. How Jika Muksagang Harima Pumsi comes in the Kundawa, my tasting the Nuxichan and Leminaba. Tangnabada Borangbi Labor Muslim Meitei Pangali Chili Nausi Nuxi Channel Labor from Sida, Central Paramilitary Force Tambagi Maram Sutasade, authorities in Puning Sing Sinjari, Haribo, Saganga Tangoni Hariba Central Paramilitary Force in a say, State Force Kaloinana, Napat Amasung Tangjeng Di, Kuki Kunsingalona, but the Tambu, Adu targeting a sea, Hawaii Hinanaba, Manipuri Mapam Tuan Makayada, Lanjina to the Chanja from Loduna Lariba. Napat amasung tangjeng di miyam sing makoi gi maramdam lamdam napat amasung tangjeng da halap tuna mahok sagi punsida hanjil hanbada chobu upai oigani.
Manipur's Kukijo frontline organization, the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF, have said that they are prepared to create a self-governed separate administration in regions where the tribes predominate, following months of ethnic turmoil in the northeastern state that has resulted in thousands of displaced people and the loss of nearly 180 lives. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF released this statement. It has been over 6 months and nothing has been done regarding our demand for a separate administration from Manipur government. So, if our voice is not heard within a couple of weeks, we will set up our self-government. Irrespective of whether the center recognizes it or not, we will go ahead. As in a state or a union territory, we will set up a self-government that will look into all matters in the Kukijo areas. We have to do this since our voice has not been heard, said Muan Tombing, General Secretary of the ITLF. On the other hand, the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF today organized a mass rally against atrocities on Kukijo tribals in the Churachandpur district. Tens of thousands of protesters from every corner of the district marched from 3 locations: Kawanpui Public Ground, Mall Baifai Public Ground and Persomun Public Ground to Tuibong Peace Ground near the Deputy Commissioner's office, shouting slogans against the state government and demanding investigating agency to probe cases of atrocities against tribals by the Meitei community. The rally was held to protest the barbaric ways in which innocent Kuki-Jo civilians are murdered by mobs and the cherry-picking of cases by police and central investigating agencies like the CBI and NIA to appease the majority Meitei community at the expense of minority tribals. At around 7 p.m. of November 14, unknown miscreants set fire on the paddy cave for harvesting at the paddy farm of Sapam Achobi Singh at Chingtham, Maninglaikai. By the time fire service arrived, all paddy had turned to ashes. Meanwhile, members of like-minded group LMG today have extended monetary assistance of Rs 11,000 to the family of Sapam Achobi Singh. A team of members comprising Paunam Kelen, Naringbam Robindru, Ojit Surukhaibam Rakesh Naurim visited the house of the victim Sapam Achobi Singh. Speaking during the visit, Ojit Surukhaibam expressed that food is the life saver of all human beings, and such act of burning down of paddy from which we are going to derive our food for sustenance is an act of disrespect to the food producers, and such acts will only give a setback to the society at large. LMG views such acts seriously and condemn the incident. He further added that cash reward of Rs 50,000 will be given to those who reports of the culprits involved in the burning down of paddies. Further, Publicity Secretary Rakesh Naurim expressed that the second Nupi land of 1939 was a result of the incessant and uncontrolled exports of Manipuri rice, leading to scarcity of food and acute famine in the then state of Manipur. He thus added that such continued acts of burning down of paddies by unknown miscreants is targeted at creating food shortage, compelling the people of Meitei community to fight amongst ourselves for food. He thus appealed to the concerned authority to prevent such acts in the future.
Yamna waba wakhan waba thamoi waba ngasi chakau numineba chakau drisineba chakau babode yaithoba aduk mate warwa misimina kaya adigi lepham chawum khangna leba matam thamoi wari matam sida amukka akhoi maraktagi misingna haiba tarene masi phawoi mai thabaji masiga tharaga ahumla ku madak jai gi sureba hoji lokadabasu mayam am watliba masi yaragadi tawbin chanu tara lonaduna haijari maramdi longmi bu ikai khumnabu wat paibase akhoi lamdam masi chakholoidoribani maramdi अखोई लौमी इकाई खुना बाइबसे मसी ख्वाइदगी मखोइना पुथोक्तरदे अखोई चारोय मरमदी नो फूड नो लाइफ मरमदी अखोई चिंजाक याउना हिंगमंगा.
A joint force of police, forest and Manipur Rifles MR carried out a poppy destruction drive at Tora Champhug Hill Range under Ukol district. It is to be mentioned here that at least 16 hectares of illicit poppy fields were destroyed, 20 huts burned, and other infrastructures such as pipeline connections, fertilizers, soil, herbicides and pesticides were also destroyed. Diamond Radio Tengbang Loop, which is being jointly established by the staff and listeners of Diamond Radio, has distributed relief materials including winter wears for the inmates who are taking shelter at relief centers opened at Tangjing, Khunjau, Wangu, Nongyaikong and Wangu, Lupamaru. The relief material distribution has been taken up with the funds accumulated from monthly subscription of 100 rupees since the month of February, along with donations made by the listener of Diamond Radio. The team expressed that they shall continue in their endeavor of extending help and support to the victims of the current crisis. A civic action program has been conducted today by the 86th Battalion CRPF for the villages of Longmai Part 1 under Nonne district under the guidance and supervision of Achilles Prasad Singh, IG Manipur and Nagaland Sector CRPF with the initiation of Mohammad Yusuf commanding 86th Battalion CRPF. During the civic action program, 10 seats were distributed for repairing of youth club's hall at Longmai Part 1. The gestures of the providing tin seat as a part of the civic action program has been uploaded by the chairman of Longmai Part 1 village. Upon improvement in the law and order situation in the Valley district, curfew has been relaxed till 10 p.m. today in Imphal East, Imphal West, Thoubal and Bishnupur districts. For Kaching district, curfew has been relaxed till 8 p.m. today. Traffic is seen normal on the roads and people are seen buying essential and other commodities during the curfew relaxation. As rescuer race against time to evacuate the 40 workers trapped in an under-construction tunnel in Silkyara in Uttarakhand and Uttarkashi An auger drill machine was being installed to expedite the process of digging through the debris and rescuing the trapped people. Apart from that, the mental condition of the trapped workers was being monitored through constant communications. Experts from Norway and Thailand were taken into consideration given the fragile state of the mountains where the tunnel is located. Nearly 50 meters of the debris needs to be penetrated to insert 800 millimeters of the evacuation tubes. Union Minister General retired V.K. Singh is scheduled to visit the tunnel at 10:50 a.m. on Thursday to take stock of the rescue operations. A rescue team will also attempt to lay a 900 mm large pipe through the debris to rescue the trapped workers. Meanwhile, 3 consignments of the new auger drill machine brought from Delhi by Hercules aircraft of the Indian Force IAF from Chinya-Lishore helipad reached the tunnel. The distance of the tunnel from Chinya-Lishore is about 35 kilometers. The truck was moving slowly due to the weight of the machine. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or 9402890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Before we close, let's see the top news headlines once again. National Press Day observed. Various welfare schemes being taken up for media persons in recognition of their service, said Director T.H. Charanjit. After dark Diwali, land of Manipur echoed with a voluntary boycott of Ningol Chakoba and mass sit-in protests. Demand peace and normalcy as Ningol Chakoba give from the state government. ITLF announces to go with separate administration whether the authority recognizes or not. Amidst the ongoing crisis, Raven College of Churachandpur granted autonomous under UGC. And curfew relaxed in Imphal East, Imphal West, Thoubal and Bishnupur district till 10 p.m. For Kapching district, curfew relaxed till 8 p.m. today. That's all for the moment. Thank you very much for joining us and keep watching ELITETV English News. Till then, take care, stay safe and have a good day ahead.